Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another Buzzing chat show here on Buzzing Pattaya, and to what I think probably this chat will be maybe the most discussed chat that we've done since I've been doing this series. And I'm going to get into this. I want to go into the future of Pattaya, and I want to dig really down into it, and I want your input. But before we do that, check this bad boy out. Look at these. I showed you the other day. See these? Look, we've got Buzzin caps now. How cool does that look? And on the back there is just our website, but on the front, I think they look pretty smart. I like them. They've got a lovely elastic band, nice elastic band, so one size fits all kind of thing. And yeah, quite like these. So if you are interested in getting a Buzzin cap, there is an email, Terry's email in the description below. Get in touch with him and he'll get you one out there. Okay, so what I want to do today is I want to talk about the future of Pattaya. And I'll tell you why I want to do this. It's been niggling me a little bit, if I'm being honest, because people come onto these discussions, they say, Pattaya's finished, and they disappear. Well, I want to dig into it. I want to go into the depth of it as to, okay, let's really drill down into what you actually think the future will be and the solution to the situation here if Pattaya really is finished. Because it's very easy to sit and say, oh, well, it's done. But if it's done, think about the knock-on effect and what the actual outcome would be if Pattaya and the nightlife just here is done. So what I want to do is I want to cover off some points. So the first thing is, like, the question I want to ask you guys is, why do you think it's finished? And I say that, and please bear with me, and in the comments, let's keep it nice with each other. And if you do disagree with someone, please don't start being personal. Just stand your ground with your point of view, but let's not get personal. But why is it finished? Because let's go back in time. What put Pattaya City on the map? And we know what that was. And it also has created thousands of jobs. It's created a lot of kind of other aspects from other people. There is so much that has been brought to the city off the back of what Pattaya is most famously known for. Because places are shut, people are saying, that's it, it's done, it's finished. Well, everywhere's shut. It's shut in Bangkok, it's shut in Phuket, in Korat, in Udon Thani, in Khon Kaen. You know, all these places also have nightlife, and they're all shut as well. So by saying Pattaya's finished, are you saying that the whole of the nightlife industry in the whole of Thailand is gone? Because that's not going to happen. You know, that's just not going to happen. So let's take Walking Street. Now, I did a walk down Walking Street the other day, and I got so many comments. And thank you guys for taking the time to reply to the channel. And a lot of people said, that's it now, it's done and dusted. Well, okay, let's just go down that road for a second. We're going to say now that Walking Street is gone how we used to know it. So what will replace those bars and the go-go's? And when you say that, think about this aspect first, okay? Let's just take a go-go bar. I'm not going to say which one, but let's just take a go-go bar. And let's just say that that particular unit that go-go bar is in right now, let's just say their rent, for argument's sake, is 150,000 baht a month. And trust me, that's not a lot of money for where they are in terms of what they used to pay for the rents here when things were back in the pre-situation that we're in now. Now I want you to become a coffee shop. I want you to be a fashion shop. I want you to be a jeweller's. I want you to be whatever you want to be that's not entertainment. How in the world can you possibly afford 150,000 baht a month selling cups of coffee? It just ain't going to add up, is it? It's not going to work. So therefore then, as an investor, you know, put yourself in the marketplace now. Say you're looking for a location and you want to open up a coffee shop. Well, you're not going to take that because you just simply wouldn't make the money in order to justify that amount of rent alone, let alone your electric, your water, your staff, your supplies, all the other things that you need to do. So it takes that out of the equation, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Even if you was to be a restaurant, okay, let's become a restaurant. I can tell you now, guys, those of you that have been here many times will back me up on this. The restaurants aren't necessarily full up with people from, say, China or across the world. You know, these restaurants, generally speaking, are guys that have gone down to Walking Street, that have come out and that have maybe got themselves some company for the evening and want to go and have some food. When you go into a lot of these restaurants, it's not rammed with Chinese tourists. It's not rammed with Indian tourists. Yes, there are people in these places, but not necessarily huge groups of Chinese or Indian or Russian tourists, etc., etc. Certainly not families. So that then puts the pendulum back on the other side, saying, well, hang on, if we open up a restaurant, who's going to go there? Because when you watch these flag chasers, they don't stop anywhere. They literally start at one and get to the other and get back on the coach and go off to their predetermined place where they're going to go and eat. And most of them are those boats out in the ocean there. So again, you know, if you open a restaurant, if you open a coffee shop, if you open a boutique, how are you going to justify those monies? Because the people that are charging the money either own the building and won't budge, or B, have got mortgages themselves and need to pay that off. Just a question for you. So, you know, when you say the nightlife is finished, okay, what will replace it, and how will they afford to pay these extortionate rents that are currently in place? And I can't see the rents going anywhere. Certainly not down. They're going to stay the same or go up when demand comes back. If the industry that we talk about is over, and let's just say that the powers that be, the people in the know, have already made that decision to say, look, we're going to suppress it, we're going to make it very difficult for new people to come on board and to be part of that industry. If that is the case, why is there no action whatsoever in any of these big areas that, like I mentioned the other day about the Simon complex, you know, the beer bars? Why have they not been flattened already? Why? Surely, if you've got the money to pay for these kind of establishments, you've got the money to knock the thing down and start building, so that when it does come back to the new normal, you're ready. It makes zero business sense to sit there and say, right, well, let's go in there and take it over, and then let's just wait on it for 3 or 6 months until people start coming over. And then when there are actually footfall or traffic here, I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll then knock it down and start building, which is going to take another couple of months. To me, if you've got the money to be able to buy these kind of property, well, not buy, but rent or whatever you're going to do, take over, you've got the money to refurbish it. And it makes perfect sense to do the refurbishments now than wait until things do start to pick up, in my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree with me, and if you do, you know, please. The question I want you to answer for me is, why is there zero, and I mean literally zero, activity? Incidentally, when I say zero activity, I'm contradicting myself here, because there is zero activity in Walking Street, but there is a huge amount of activity in LK Metro, in Soi Buakhao, in Tree Town. You know, there's in Soi Chaiapam, Soi Pothole. There's a load of activity. There's so many places that are being built right now. So again, that goes back to the original question. Well, if the nightlife industry here is over, why are they doing that? Why? I think we're going to have a compromise. I think Walking Street is going to be under pressure. I think Beach Road is going to be under pressure with the freelancers hanging around, etc. And I think that may possibly change. But I think hell will freeze over before they take away the nightlife industry here. I really do. And maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe in 6 months' time we can look back at this video and say, well, Trev, you shot yourself in the foot there, mate, didn't you? But the reason I say it is because the quantity of people, the quantity of staff here is phenomenal. So I see, personally, Walking Street and Beach Road potentially and possibly, and quite rightly in many ways, being cleaned up as such. I still think you're going to have an element of the go-go bars there. You know, the places like Skyfall, WhatsApp. There's a few big guns, Pin Up and all these kind of places. And I think because they're behind closed doors, I think they'll allow people to stand outside, the girls. Maybe they'll have to change the way they dress, possibly. I don't know. I'm nobody in this. And invite people to go inside behind the closed doors, possibly. But I can see 100% the areas that I've just mentioned before about being the new area that's a go-to area for the nightlife industry here. And when we look at it like that, you know, you take areas around the world, take London, for instance, Soho, you know, take Amsterdam, you know, they've got the red light area, take Germany, you know, they've got the red light areas there, as there are around the world. These places still exist, and they might not be the highlight of what the country promotes for their tourists, but it's there. And those people that know about that sort of thing, or are involved in that industry, or want to be involved in that industry, know where to go. So is there a real chance then that perhaps that we will suppress what we've got in the public eye, but it will still exist in the non-public area, like we've said about the Soy Buakhao and Tree Town side of things? I think so. Maybe you disagree, and this is why I want this. I think it's going to be a brilliant discussion. I want your honest opinions. Please don't just say, oh, the nightlife's finished, that's it, it's done and dusted. Because there's so many things you've got to take into account. Another factor, in Walking Street alone, there's probably in excess of 10,000 people working. The girls, the security staff, the service staff, all these people are going to be without a job. So what are they going to do? It's all well and good saying it's done, it's finished, it's over. Okay, well, let's go down that road. So now I want you to tell me, what are you going to give them as a job? And don't say, oh, they can go and get a job working in a factory, then go and get a job doing. Guys, there are jobs there, of course there are. But there's not a lot. There's not 10,000 jobs available. And don't forget, you've also got to say to yourself this point, that if all those staff are now unemployed, they're unemployed because of what? Because they're in the nightlife industry. Fine. So are you now saying that the nightlife industry in Pattaya is going to be closed, but they're going to allow it in Bangkok, they're going to allow it in Phuket, they're going to allow it around the rest of the country? Well, they can't do that, can they? Because that's being biased. And there's no reason for it to be like that. Because if you're trying to clean up the image of the country, well, then surely these segments in Bangkok and Phuket, etc., are still going to be a thorn in their backside. Surely they're going to say, right, do you know what, across the whole country, let's stamp it out once and for all. Now's our chance. Now's our glory days. Let's go in there and say, right, that's it, we're done. Are they trying to starve the industry by keeping us shut here? I don't think they are. Remember, there's a lot of that going up there. A huge, huge amount. You wouldn't believe how much goes up there in terms of this. So these people will also be thinking from their own point of view, we don't want to lose what possibly could be an immense amount of money. And I'm talking right up the top. You know, don't think it's just this level. It's not. It's right at the very, very top. So where will the jobs go? Where will the people go, and what will they do? Please tell me. If you're going to take, let's say, let's take the Simon Beer Complex, okay? I do genuinely think if there is an opportunity for somewhere to change, like say, for instance, in Walking Street, that would be a prime opportunity, simply because they're concrete blocks, easy to knock down, quickly do the floor, take the roof off, job done, there you go, you got yourself a huge coffee stroke restaurant. Okay, best case scenario, you're probably going to have, let's say, 20 to 30 staff working per evening. Let's say, best case scenario, and that's meaning the place is rammed and it's busy. In that complex right now, there's probably 300 to 400 girls working in there. So there you go, that's the difference. We're going to take 300 to 400 girls out and replace it with 20 to 30 girls. It just doesn't add up. And then what you might find is, because these people are out of work, because these people have no money still, well then that possibly could start to increase the crime levels here. I don't know. You know, this is why I want you guys to help me. What do you think? I think that we aren't going to go anywhere. I think it will change. I think things will slightly be moved around. Maybe the Soy Buakhao Tree Town area will be the new go-to area. I believe that. I'm being slightly biased in many ways in terms of the fact that obviously the Buzzin bar, as you now know, is in Tree Town. But my point being is, I can't for the life of me see how people can just say it's done. It isn't done. There's a lot more to come. What do you think, guys? And I would like this discussion to be a really meaningful discussion in terms of, please don't just say, oh look, it's over, it's done, it's dusted. Explain your logic. A lot of people write their comments, but they don't give it any meat on the bone. They don't say to you, well, I think it's done because of this. So the questions I get is, if it's finished, why is it finished? I understand maybe they want to change the demographic of what we see here as a tourist attraction, but why is it finished? What will replace these places? Why is there no signs of any development whatsoever? Any development whatsoever along Walking Street? There's no signs. What will all the staff do? Where will they go, and what will be put in place to replace their incomes that they've all lost? Because remember, they get zero support here. Will they then change Bangkok, Phuket, Udon Thani, Khon Kaen? Will they blanket it, or are they just going to pick on Pattaya? Is that what they're going to do? That seems a bit unrealistic to me. What do you think? And why can't we just move it and continue like we used to be in terms of when you go to places like Amsterdam, Berlin, you know, all these big cities that have got a segment that is exactly what we're talking about here right today. Guys, over to you. This is what I want you to do. Please answer the questions for me, please, but in detail. And I read everyone, you know that. I reply to everybody. I read everybody's comments. What is the solution? What is the future? What do you genuinely think about the future of Pattaya and about the future of the nightlife industry, not just here, but across the country? Because I think you can't pick on one and leave all the others. And if you do, I guess everyone's going to get up and go over there. I don't know. Let's see. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for today's coffee chat. Not coffee chat. See, losing myself. Thank you very much for today's chat show. You know, please put your comments down below. Guys, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Check out our members area. We have more and more members joining now each and every week, which is fantastic. And I've still got loads more places joining us and coming on to offer you various discounts, etc., for your showing your digital ID card. And guys, jump on our Discord group. You know, this is a perfect platform for you to get in there and have a chat, meet new friends, make new acquaintances. You know, we're going to be organising loads and loads of different bar crawls and all those kind of things when we open, because I don't think it's going anywhere. I'm going to put my hands up. I think it's going nowhere. It's going to change slightly, but it will be here. And get on the Discord group, guys. It really is a good place. All right, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And please, as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.